Started day 2. Really good night's sleep in the Winnick Hotel. It's nearly 7:10. I'm going to go down for breakfast at past. I'm all packed up, ready to go. Yeah, so today we'll go from Drymen to Rowardennan Youth Hostel. This is where I'm staying tonight. First bit is to go up Connick Hill and then down the new path on the other side of Connick Hill, which by all accounts is pretty horrendous on the knees, but we'll see. Looking forward to it. The weather, I've had a quick look outside. There's a few streaks of cloud here and there, but nothing significant. The weather forecast said it's going to be a really nice day, to be fair. So we can hope it stays that way. So I'll do Connick Hill and then drop down into, I think it's Balmaha, and then from there, stop there for lunch, I think, and then head on the last leg to Rowardennan Youth Hostel. There's a, I think it's Rowardennan Lodge. Well, there's a bar anyway that's not far short of the hostel. That's probably where I'll have something to eat tonight, and then stay in the hostel before starting the dreaded day 3. Anyway, yeah, feel pretty good. A couple of little sore patches in my feet, but I've taped them just to be on the safe side. And yeah, it's probably because the boots are still fairly new, I guess. But nothing to write home about. As I say, I've taped them as a precaution. So fingers crossed. That's all it is. Because yeah, you don't mind this on the last couple of days, but you don't on the first day. So, but anyway, as I say, it's not too bad, and so we'll head down in about 15-20 minutes, get some breakfast, and then start walking again. So it's now 8:35. I set off about 10 to 8. So Drymen is a way back down there. You come all the way up this way and then across to the path, cut through a nice little forest. It's I should have gotten a little video, some photos. It's like a little enchanted forest, it looks like. All the fine moss on the trees and little babbling brooks and stuff. It's really nice, but the weather is blinding. Really nice, a bit crisp, a little bit of chill in the air, but that's nice, and it means you're not getting too warm while you're hiking. All the colours are changing, as I mentioned yesterday, and the further up we get, the more you'll see that. More oranges and browns, autumnal colours. In terms of like the landscape and the colours and stuff, it's probably my favourite time of year, to be honest, especially up here. I mean, when I did it last year, and I had to bail for the last 2 days, and I came back a month later, at the beginning of November, the colours had changed a lot in just that 4 weeks, and the scenery was just spectacular. But now we've come out of Drymen, where you start to get a bit of scenery. You lose it tomorrow along the Lochside because it's you're walking amongst trees and stuff. But whenever there's a gap in the trees now, you're starting to get a nice view. So heading up towards Connick Hill. So we'll keep going, we'll get a little video at the top, I think. Some photographs before the hike down into Rowardennan. Grab myself a coffee. I did kind of mess up with the hotel last night, so this morning, breakfast at 7:30, I went down. Oh, you've booked room only. Typical Scotty. So luckily it's not a big deal. Over the road in from the hotel in Drymen, there's a spa and they have like hot sandwiches and stuff on the morning, so grabbed myself a sausage butty and a coffee, down that, and then off we go. So it is what it is. Just need to take more care when I'm booking stuff. I did check the other ones and I have got breakfast in some of them. Some of them they don't do it, so I'll plan for that. Oh yes. So yeah, you can see starting to get some of the impressive scenery. And once you get up past Tindrum, it really opens up, and it's everywhere you look's just amazing. This is pretty impressive as it is. So yes, I'll see you at the top. So when you get to this point, which is, I don't know, mile and a half, maybe slightly further in, you've got an option. As you can see, you've got a signpost. Now over here you've got the little way marker which is pointing straight ahead. We've got the signpost here which gives you the option. I'll tell you exactly how far in we are. Oh, apparently we've done 4 miles. Didn't feel like it. So the option you've got is 2.5 miles to Balmaha if you go left, 3 3/4 miles if you go right, and that's via Connick Hill. Now if you take the route that way to your left, that drops you down all the way. You keep going, maybe, I don't know, half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, you get to the main road, turn right and go along there, and you'll end up in Balmaha. It's the B837 as it says on the sign. Or you go this way and you go over the top of Connick Hill and down. So it's an extra 1.25 miles, but the choice you've got is, do you want to go Connick Hill, get the views, which are pretty epic to be fair, take that extra bit of time, or do you want to go the low route and along the road, which is much quicker and easier? I guess it all depends on your level of fitness, what you're carrying, whether you think your knees will take it, because you've got to come down the other side of this thing, and that's usually where I have trouble with my knees. But this year the pack I'm carrying is a lot lighter than last year, so fingers crossed it doesn't do us in. I mean, the section down into Kinloch Leven's worse, comfortably, but yeah, that's the option you've got at that crossroads, fork in the road, whatever you want to call it, and we're going up the Connick Hill way, so see you at the top. How's that for a view? There's Connick Hill. So we're kind of walking perpendicular to it at the minute, and then we turn a little bit further up. About 1.5 mile to the top of there from here. Absolutely stunning. The weather's fantastic. Just enough breeze to keep the midges away. Not that I've seen many in even the still parts, but absolutely epic. Got to be happy with that. Hey. This is day 2. The really good stuff's further up. Day 5, 6. Yeah, that's where we're going, the top of there. Here we are at the top of Connick Hill. Is that not one of the best views you've ever seen? Unbelievable. It's 25 past 10. So, not made bad time. About 7:15 I set off. So, just over 2.5 hours to the top of here. And then I'll head down into Balmaha, if I'm saying that right. Have something, coffee, maybe sandwich, and then mooch along to Rowardennan. Unreal. Unreal. This is what it's all about, like. Bit of a slog up the hill, it's not too bad to be fair. But then the payoff is this. Absolutely beautiful. Ladies on the pathway on the way down to the back of Connick Hill. Nice and slowly past them. Morning, ladies. Just let them do their thing. Don't want to upset them. Okay, we are. You're not winning a fight with an angry cow, and they have got calves with them, so just take your time. We'll pass them nice and slow, and be on your way. So when you come out of Balmaha, you're walking alongside Lochside. It's on a, to be fair, pretty nice forest path. It's a lot easier and nicer to walk on than the section tomorrow. This is quite pleasant, and there's plenty of bits where you can get down to the Lochside. Get some photographs of the scenery there, and it is really nice. I've already been down and took some further back, but it's just a really nice bimble through the forest, through the woods, whatever you want to call them. So quiet. Sure, I heard a couple of wild haggis having a scrap earlier. I don't know if it's mating season or what, but fighting over territory. You've heard not like it though. I think it's weird when foxes scream, when haggis start screaming at each other. It's just a whole other level. Yeah, so taking it at an easier pace, I'm really enjoying it. I mean, I walked it last year with a friend, and to be honest with you, I'm happier walking it this year by myself. Sometimes it's nice to just be by yourself. I quite like that. I'm comfortable in my own company, and I spend most of my time in my own company, to be honest with you. I just like it that way. The Fjallraven Classic is a whole different world. It's very much a big group thing, and equally I enjoyed that, meeting so many people. And you meet plenty of people here as well, walking the West Highland Way, but it's different. You can't really compare the two, because yes, on this everyone's doing the same thing, but it's not an organised event, if you like, whereas the Fjallraven it's an organised event. You pay to take part, but for that you get a ton of support. There's like medical support, there's checkpoints to get all your food, your gas, there's a big party at the end, and to be honest with you, I think you get way more back than what it costs you to take part. There's about 1,500 people do it ish, and they're from all over the world, and because you're all walking the same route, starting at roughly the same time and camping roughly similar places, you get to spend more time, get to know different people, and it's a bit more of a cultural exchange, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Particularly enjoyed doing it with my son. That was a bit of a highlight. But yeah, met so many nice people, kept in contact with a good bunch of them, and I still talk to people I met on the way last year. There was a few of them actually did the Fjallraven as well, so that was quite nice. But yeah, this is entirely different. It's not an event you enter as such. It's you walk it when you want to walk it, you arrange everything yourself, and you can wild camp it. You can stay in accommodations like I'm doing this year. Morning. Oh, afternoon rather. Yeah, but whichever way you decide to do it, it's a different experience. What's interesting is the sections of this that remind me very much of the Fjallraven. Same sort of terrain. That's what I've got to look forward to tomorrow. Ups and downs and things like that. A lot more of them tomorrow. Yeah, so sections of the terrain are very similar. Some of the scenery is very similar. So they both kind of remind you of each other in a lot of ways, but then they are both very different. And personally, I would recommend everyone or anyone do both of them. I mean, the Fjallraven's really branched out in the last few years. The original one's in Sweden, from Lochside, I think I've said that right, to Abisko. So you finish, it's the last part from I think it's Singi. You follow the Kungsleden, which is a really long trail through Sweden, and you finish inside the Arctic Circle. It says Swedish Lapland, and it's a beautiful part of the world. Very similar terrain, but very different scenery. It's hard to explain, but this year was the I think the 20th anniversary of the first one. But yeah, they've branched out a lot. There's one in Denmark. There's a UK one which was on a couple of weeks ago in the Lake District. There's one in Germany.
America, Chile, there's South Korea. Is that it? I think it's 7. I think there's like a partner one in Hungary next year, and someone mentioned a couple of weeks ago that there's talk of a one in Czech Republic as well. So it's spreading around the world, and it's always a good thing because, as I say, they're really popular events. And to be honest with you, after doing it this year, I've decided that my go-to summer holiday will be Sweden, Fjällräven Classic, for the foreseeable. Next year, I think I want to do the UK as well, which in fairness, if it's in the same place as it was this year, because last year it was in Scotland apparently, if it's in the same place as it is this year, then it's like 2 hours drive from my house, so it's not far to go. So yeah, that's my plan anyway. But as I say, I did the way last year, doing it again this year, same week, and last year I camped. This year I've decided to stay in accommodations. A little bit of a cheat, a little bit of luxury, but I can live with that. I mean, the thing is, I would recommend anyone to do this as well, the West Highland Way. It's a life-changing experience. I don't say that lightly, because it really does. You've got a lot of thinking time, and there's lots of, the scenery changes every day, you know. I mean, again, not trying to sound dramatic with that, but it literally does. No 2 days are the same. They all have different challenges, they all have different scenery, they all have different people. And I mean, this year, here we are halfway through day 2, and already it's an entirely different experience to last year. And one I'm really enjoying. The weather helps. The fact it's nice weather today. I mean, it was raining yesterday, but today it's nice weather. And that always helps. I mean, in Sweden, the first 2.5 days it was downpour, high winds. And then after 2.5 days, the weather turned very much to the way it is here now. And it's absolutely stunning. So the trails brought us down to the Lochside. There's people out doing a bit of wild swimming, people walking their dogs, people walking the trail. And this is the scenery you've got along the Lochside. Nice shingle beach. It's just so nice, peaceful. If you get the chance, there's not even a question, you've got to come and do something like this. Especially if you enjoy hiking, if you enjoy camping, because obviously in Scotland, very similar to Sweden, you've got the right to roam, the right to wild camp. There was only one section in Sweden where you couldn't just pitch up anywhere, and that was in the Biscone National Park. And again, that's very similar to here. So between, I think it's either March or April through to October, there's a section along Loch Lomond that it's a camping management zone. So there's a couple of campsites you can stay in, but you can't just pitch up anywhere. You have to get a permit, which is easy enough to get online. You can get a permit to enable you to camp in the camping management zone in designated places. I mean, look at that. That's just amazing. Yeah, so you can camp in these places. But to be fair, the camping management zone isn't that long, so you can easily dip in and out of it in the same day. That's not really an issue, to be honest with you. So yeah, so I'll just crack on, follow the trail along the Lochside, and catch up with you a bit later on. So I arrived at Rowardennan Youth Hostel, checked in, had a shower, got a proper ring round my head where my cap's been. Just waiting to get some food, and it's absolutely gorgeous out here tonight. A little bit of nip in the air, breeze, but the weather's fantastic. Has been all day. Yeah, really enjoyed that section. There's a fair bit of up and down by the Lochside after you leave Balmaha. And obviously you've climbed Conic Hill earlier in the day, so yeah, I can feel it in my legs a bit. Like they're coming down from the little climbs in the forest. I can really feel it, and me quads, they were feeling it. Got a little bit twingy, so a bit of extra salt on me did at night, I think, because I stupidly forgot to bring me electrolyte tablets, which I should have done, but it is what it is. I'd probably be able to pick some up in Tindrum, I guess. They might have some in the Banglass campsite tomorrow. Maybe not, but I'll check. But no, really good walk today. Really enjoyed it. And all checked in now. Just chill for a few hours before I get my head down. Breakfast at 7:30 in the morning, and then set off probably 8 on my least favourite stage, which I'm not looking forward to, but it's a necessary evil. I'm sure there's people out there absolutely love it, without a shadow of a doubt there is, but I'm not one of them, so we'll see how it goes, but I'll keep you posted.